very horizontal line.
That sure is a very horizontal line. It's going kind of good, I'd say, but not that good. So be very careful. And I'm talking about all the teams on where you want to go. You have the Northerns, you have the South. You don't have those corner areas for yourself to like mitigate or go. So be very careful on which city you're going to choose. Are you going to choose the Jadena city, whereas you have the two bridges going from the small city to the main city? Then we have Danjing, we have Neox factory, the tracks area, the Mayran, all these big cities. Are they going to be contested this time around? A stadium is contested. There's two teams going around. I can also see teams players, in fact, of BTR and Namching's Red Force going to the northern angles towards the Minhu area. But they're not going to be able to reach that. They're going to be over into complete open side. Maybe try to find some cars and everything. But so far, out of this big of a map, look at this.
Oh,
It's such a big map, and all of the teams they have dropped, but we can barely see the number. If it's Miramar, if it's Erangel, you usually see it completely like fill up the whole map. But this time around, we see just those small dot areas to be filled.
yeah, absolutely. And right now we're seeing the consequence of that. We're already seeing two eliminations going in on the side of Hora. It looks like, oh, whose team was that? Kinotrope actually lost two players so early on. It's not even the 2 minute mark, and that's because there's a trend in Rondo. We saw this in the past two Rondo maps. There's always a cluster of teams going in on the same city. It's not like Erangel and Miramar where they're so used to it that it's almost like everywhere. Like there are teams all over the place, and now it's just like they're so unprepared that they're all landing on the same place. And you can see right now on the mini map that is a four different squads in I can't quite catch the name, but yeah, in this area there's four different squads. Over here we're seeing two. This is Yangon Galacticos and A1RG. So you know what, this is gonna be fun. But despite the fact that there's so many clusters of squads, surprisingly, only two people got picked off right now. So, you know what? Let's wait and see if there's any potential engagements to be had, especially with YG and A1RG over here.
Ouch! The moment you said it, there's going to be a knockdown. A1RG is also going to receive the casualty. Both parties getting a knockdown on each other's side. That's a trade off going around. Equilibrium is on its way. Say Cloud is coming for that rescue. He is going to go for that revive as soon as possible, but be very careful of what you're going to choose. Rowdy's first going to be finished off, then he's going to go for the revive. Say Cloud, making sure that he has the elimination, he has the upper advantage, upper hand against the A1RG, whereas all of its players actually gets the revive. But oh, do I see another one knocked out? A1RG losing their players just like that. That's second one down. Fortunately, he will be revived in the meanwhile. Monet Boy closing in, taking this opportunity to change the direction of his location, the location that he has. But oh my god, Romeo Boy taking down CJ Boy right there. DRS example on our screen in this Mayran area with three different teams alongside of the premises. There's a revive going over again once more. Say Cloud gets a knockdown instantly. Mernet Boy throwing a grenade. It will not connect. It will not get any kind of connections. The Molotov has also been thrown. The players will be forced to not go onto the top floor, but there goes the grenade. It's going to hit, but no connection. Master Smile still alive,
Oh my.
going forward, taking that fight face to face, but you have to be very careful. There's a guy, there's a player in this warehouse. The jump shots are coming. Flash gets taken down in an instant. It's just down to the very last guy of A1RG, which case Yangon Galacticos takes him out. No casualty, ladies and gentlemen, no casualties. The A1RG, and they have the 4 eliminations.
I love Rondo so much. That was so messy. These engagements are so messy. You can just tell that they're not quite used to the map yet because there's a lot of clumsiness and everything. Oh, Federalis, you got caught right there. But Kyorin is stationed outside. I think there's still a possibility that Bigatron by Vitality. No, absolutely not. Rizy and Federalis are down. They have gravestones are their names now. And unfortunately, BTR, they didn't manage to get those points that they need. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes they get a lot of points. And especially in day number one, the Rondo, they did so well. But right now, it looks like it's not looking good for them. But Kyurem and Bumblebee, I think they can get some more elimination points, but they're definitely not going to be as they can't match up to the teams, especially the full squad teams anymore, since they've lost Rizy and Federalis. So let's see what Nongshim Red Force will be doing about that. It looks like there will be some grenades coming in, but it's not gonna connect to either Kyurem and Bumblebee. So let's just wait and see what's gonna happen.
Oh. Oh, we do have to see what's going to
Ouch.
happen, but a grenade goes over from Kyurem's side.
Uh
Kyurem
oh.
instantly gets a knockdown as well. It's a trade-off, back-to-back, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Situation is kind of going on both sides, both angles. Be very careful on what you're going to do, but Bigatron from the back angle. Nomshing's Red Force's player. Just the better of them. Nomshing's Red Force surviving 4 eliminations, and BTR, the team that is on the very top of the leaderboard. Now they have been eliminated early on. This gives enough opportunity to the number 2, number 3, number 4 teams position side to take this initiative, get onto the number top, and take over the BTR. But E-Arena, they're also taking those casualties to their name and also giving it away towards the enemy side, as Blood Official is down to the very last guy close to the proximity of E-Arena. Arena is also down to the last 2. So it's a 1 versus 2. And in the back line, there's a Tribro Messi. There's also DRS. So it's not just one team. It's 3, 4 different teams going around 4, 5, 6, getting those eliminations. It's a 1v3 that this guy has pulled off for the team. And an amazing job that he has done.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, like the jump shots, but then again, EA did have the better guns. Oh, I love this. I love the fact that the walls collapse. But I just gotta remind you guys, DRX only needs a 5 more points to overtake BTR, and BTR is sitting with 0 points right now. There's a possibility. There's a huge possibility BTR will be dethroned in this Rondo map. And I'm just saying, Arena 456, you're in trouble. But let's see what 456 will do. Goes outside, but we'll be going back and take some damage from Killer YT. They have the information. They know where 456 is. They have the numbers advantage. All they have to do is storm up the staircase, and then goodbye 456. Killer YT comes in and finally finishes off E Arena. Goodbye, Torx.
It's a goodbye right there for E Arena. Ouch. Whew.
Ouch.
But let's see what's going to happen. Still, there's a lot of more teams alive. 11 total teams. DRS being one of them, with 3 elimination, 3 men standing. Tribro Messi is in the forefront. It's a 4 versus 3 right now. Yetauta dodging every bullet, getting a knockdown on Giante. Beautifully done, Yetauta. Now back to the UMP-45. He's ready to take the action once again. Rig is on the front lines. Has a QBZ in hand, but Yetauta first healing himself. 75, UMP-45 in hand. He's gonna take down almost the second guy. The peak fire is not gonna work it out, as Yetauta, by the hand of Delta, even with that slight bit of HP, gets taken down. But Killer YT comes into the play as 12K makes the better work of the player as he gets the full confirmation on Rig. Now it's down to the last guy. Delta it is in the front lines. The jump shots are coming in, but the players is finally going to be taken down. It's a 1v1 going to Killer YT as Killer YT wins it over. And now DRS, they're going to revive all of their players. But Tribro Messi, I want to see where the very last guy is.
DRS. I mean, that was probably Killer YT that was still up and running, but you can see that their other players are kind of like losing it out, and probably is gonna be completely finished off later on. But I'd like to watch Four Thrives and Horror Esports. It looks like Noki will be getting those sprays, but unfortunately will be taking a lot of damage as well. Horror, they're all congregating in one area, and those sprays are just gonna distribute amongst these players. And one good grenade, they could take them all out, and it's exactly what 40 is trying to do. I love what Noki's doing over here. I mean, it's like a flank from afar, the snipes coming in. But let's see if that will work out. Looks like we're also seeing a lot of grenades. It looks like Jiggle will be first to go down on the side of Hora. And 40 Let's see if they can take them off. Oh
Ooh.
my gosh, took a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, this is a huge standoff for Forty and Hora. It's taking a while, although like they're all out in the open and they're throwing all their grenades at
No
each other.
way.
But they're all holding up. So let's see what happens. I think this will take a while.
Oh no. What happened? IQ, he wanted to get that revive, and that's going to cost down two of the players of the fourth drive. Now, Naki is the very last hope for the team. Or is in the front proximity behind the hard cover. The shots are going on. The damage is here from the grenade, and the player comes in with the 1897. Makes better work of Naki. Fourth rise out of the match. Zero eliminations in this match whatsoever. Top 10 teams, ladies and gentlemen. It's only been 11 minutes. 11 minutes in, and we are down to 33 players. 10 total teams. The Mernet Boy also been taken down by Alpha Gaming. That's the first elimination that they're going to have against the Yangon Galacticos at this point. Say Cloud going in the compound. Now East knows the location. If he had the throwables, if he had the grenade, he could have utilized that maybe to take down the players or mitigate the situation to his own favor. But Yangon Galacticos, they are very careful. They're very precise. But now Alpha Gaming, only top is in the circle. The rest of the teams, they will have to move forward. But I see Refus still knocked down. Someone needs to go get that revival done as soon as possible. I think this is the time to top. Go for the top into the back lines and get that revival done. Zeol is the one that's going for that revive of the Refus. I do believe so, on a different angle, but he's also going to receive some shots. He's going to go on the top of the mountain. He's going to receive the damage from the Yangon Galacticos, so he's very careful. DRS finally taking the final player of the Triber Messi down as well. That's a full squad wipeout that the DRS has done. But now DRS is also down to the two players. Alpha Gaming throwing grenades, throwing the Molotovs, the utilities that they can possibly think of. All the dumps are going around, but Yangon Galacticos is unscathed, unnerved, unmoved. And there we go, the car moving away from this issue, trying to change down the position. He's going to shoot down the car, almost getting Yangon Galacticos' player. And Saycloud barely managing to cling on that life, going into the cover. Now back to the 75% HP, he will go, and he will take that engagement from a different angle.
Ooh, it's a mess, especially for Alpha Gaming. So Zyol and Refuse, they're out of commission. East just got knocked down. I think there's only one last person left on the side of Alpha Gaming before they'll be saying goodbye, going back to the lobby. And of course, Master Smile over here, I think they're gonna go ahead and finish off East. No! He got hit by the frying pan. I mean, save those bullets, but at the same time, wow. But anyway, so that's going really well for it was Yango Galacticos and DRS that are on the top of the leaderboards right now, and we're seeing Romeo Boy right now. They spotted Team Secret, tried to get some bullets in, but unfortunately, I don't think we saw any connections just yet. It looks like they lost Murnut Boy. I'm not sure if they got eliminated or they just disconnected, but either way, Yangon Galacticos, DRS, they're doing really well. Hora just 1 point away from catching up. Nongshim Red Force. Once again, yesterday, they were the chicken dinner winners yesterday. So, watching out for them. There's a lot of chaos in this Rondo map. You can see the fact that it's still 14 minutes in and we're already down to 28 players. I think this is going to be really fun. But right now, it looks like the players are, I don't know, I guess they're like in a little bit of stalemate right now.
They definitely are in a little bit of stalemate, but that stalemate is not going to continue for too much longer. Stage number 4 is closing in. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. I want to see where the circle is going to head over to. Maybe it's south, and it is south, ladies and gentlemen, to where the Kinotropes player, Alpha Gaming. They're in the circle as well as the solo player top. Hora versus Yangon Galacticos, close to the proximity. The fight will definitely ensue. Cyclone gets eliminated. Wait a second, what happened to the DRS as they get eliminated by the play circle? That was a lot of damage of the circle that they just took down. I don't know why they were not moving. They were not making their way in the circle. They had the 7 eliminations. This was a great start for the DRS as well. But suddenly, they fell short. They got eliminated early on the number 9. They're not going to receive a single placement point for themselves. But now, from this point onward, any team who gets eliminated will receive the placement point for themselves. DRX is Nia in the front lines, trying to make the area for his own favor. Nia so far has AUG in hand, 6x scope, the player gun for the revive. He's definitely going to make sure the car is going to burst down, the car tires are no longer functionable, and Nomching's Red Force kind of stuck into the open area field. The smokes will definitely come in handy at this point, that's for sure. But DRX, you have to yet get in the circle, and you have to yet start that engagement, start those fights for yourself. So far, you have 0 eliminations whatsoever.
Yeah, and DRX. They need the 5 eliminations to overtake PTR right now. This is their chance. But unfortunately, they just can't find the angle that they need. But they're definitely trying. We're seeing their formation right now. They're trying to go in the circle. There's a team that's shooting at them. I believe that's Team Secret, or would it be Horror Esports? I believe Horror Esports is looking about another team. Actually, there are like 2 different teams near my. One of them is Yangon Galacticos. The other one, I didn't quite catch. I think that was R8. But yeah, we're watching them right now. Horror Esports. It looks like they're doing really well. 6 eliminations. All the while, Team Secret finds a 1 knock on their favor on YG. Frankie trying to scope up the scene. Sees a little bit of movement, and that's actually Yangon Galacticos. It looks like Team Secret will be going ahead and positioning themselves in this very pretty swamp. By the way, Tran gets shot down all of a sudden. Zeros is at least over there to go ahead and give that revive.
Oh my god, there's a lot of needs for the revives and all of these things. But you can see Secret. That's 2 down. In fact, that's only 2 left. Alpha Gaming in the front line. Oh my god. The situation is not going good for these guys at this point. Yes, they're in the top 8, but we have to be very careful. They have to be very careful on what they're going to do, because one wrong move will instantly mean annihilation on their end. Frankie's here. Let's see if he's going to be able to see the Horror Esports player, if he's going to be able to get a knockdown on them. The QBZ, it jiggles too much. It moves too much. You're not going to be able to, even as a prone down player, take down the full spray against the enemy. So you have to make sure, you have to know what you are going to do at this point. Frankie's here. Let's see. 007 so far. He has 40 bullets locked and loaded. On the other side, it's an S12K in hand, so he still can only use the QBT for the long ranges. But now, finally getting a shot 200 meters out of the proximity of the circle. Now, this is going to be a really intense situation. Now, this is what we're talking about. He is not going to be able to survive for too long. As Big Papa, he's here as well, getting some shots outside of the circle, 65 meters. And close to their proximity, I can see R8 closing in.
So R8's here, joining in the fray. They're moving, they're pushing towards DRX, but I wonder what their plan is. I think they're about to go ahead and storm the place. There's a lot of grenades coming in from DRX, however, but R8 will be answering back. They'll definitely have to dodge those. There's absolutely a lot of things happening. DRX takes a 1. They have a 1 down from the side of R8. Marth will need that revive, but the Mars definitely not giving up. Throwing those grenades. Not much damage coming in from either side just yet. But Prestige, I think they're about to do something. I wonder if this is going to be a vehicle elimination, or will it just be a repositioning? But over here, Damar behind. Wow, that's the beautiful sprays coming in. But one after the other, the rest of their team is going down. So it's all up to Damar right now. Everyone else needs that revive. I think they're getting finished off as well. Big Papa just took 1. That's Marth going down now. DRX has 2 points to their name. But on the other hand, DRX is also needing 2 revives in the bag. So let's see what Damar will do about that. And he gets... Jiggle Horror rather. Ooh. Gets finally... Oh my gosh. Prestige when he falls. And R8 will be saying goodbye. So let's see how DRX is gonna fare after that.
That was sad. That was absolutely sad at that point. Now DRX down to the very last guy. Alpha Gaming gets eliminated.
Ooh.
Nom Ching, not making sure that they're getting all the elimination that they can. But DRX finally gets the elimination on their side. Where Esports is also facing a lot of casualties at this point as one player gets a finisher. But Big Papa, Big Mama, Nia, all the players of the DRX, they finally get a full finisher. It's top 5, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the top 5 with solo duos onto the proximity. No fear going full, getting the elimination on Master Smile,
Oh
Young on
man.
Galacticos. Alta out of the match. 16 elimination. 16 elimination to Hora Esports. They are absolutely kicking all the lobby. Nomshing's Red Force 5 eliminations. Yes, they have the 3-man standing. Kinotrope down to the very last secret. Down to 2. Grenade going from Kinotrope. Tam R not getting any connections. And GK. He's in the warehouse. He's in the shack. He's going to move and he's going to be spotted by Tam R.
And the funny thing is, Akinotrope, I remember they got picked off early on. There were two players that got picked off like a few minutes into the game, and they're still alive. Like, you just realize they're still alive, and Tam R is holding on to those placement points. And in fact, we're already down to the last 4 teams, so that's a lot of placement points on their side. It's a great thing. But Tam R, I think they might be the next to go down because this is a bit of a hard thing, a hard situation for them. They're all alone, and they're up against Team Secret with 2 players, Nongshim Red Force with 3, and Hori Sports, who are on a roll, by the way, still with 2 players. So watching out for that. Horror Esports so far doing the best performance for this first map, but I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. How will this end, especially since I think non-Chim Red Force are gonna finally join in the fun once again. Let's see if they will go ahead and take these engagements.
We do have to see what's gonna happen as Hora Esports, they're absolutely cooking it up. No fear. Has 7 individual elimination, 4 for Jiggle. Right in this proximity, they're in the top 5, slowly but surely pushing forward, going into the side of the Nomshing's Red Force. The Nomshing's Red Force is also taking the fight against the Secret. Secret is out. There we go. On the top 4, they get eliminated. Nomshing's 3-man, the only team I'd say at this point that has the highest probability of securing the winner chicken dinner because of the man advantage that they have at their disposal. For Esports, because of the gunpowder that they are presenting in today's matches. In this match, in fact, the chances are really good for these guys as well. But I don't know what's going to happen to the Kinotrope at this point. The solo guy, what is he going to think? What is he going to do at this point? And what's his processing thought at this point? Because so far, it is just the solo guy, and we don't know where Kinotrope is right now situated at. I can't even see him into the minimap. It's just Hora and the team Nomshing's Red Force just into the proximity, chilling out there from one direction to another one.
Now I want to know where Kintrop is. They're just hiding out there. And they're still alive, so that's the important part. So the smartest thing that Tam R can do right now is kind of wait for Hora and Nongshim to go ahead and eliminate each other. And right now, Nongshim Red Force has the numbers advantage, but Hora Esports has the momentum, and they have a lot of eliminations right now. We can see No Fear is probably gonna be the MVP, sitting with 7 whole eliminations to their name right now. So, we just saw Tam R's car blow up. I think Jiggle Horror knows that he's there. So that's a potential elimination. But then again, Tam R gave has their location compromised. Jiggle Horror as well took some damage from somewhere. I believe that was Tam R giving those bullets. So they're definitely trying. But over here, Beanie as well, trying to see if they can get a pick off on their side.
We do have to see what's going to happen. So far, it's 7 elimination towards the Nomshing's Red Force. The Binny is trying his level best with the sprays, with the fires to get the connections. But I see Kinotropes' last guy as well. Now Nomshim's They're finally covering and moving together as a single unit in the circle. But Jiggle is going to be that one crucial factor where he might take one player down. He does it. Instead, he also gets taken down. It's a 1-1 trade-off going around. No Fiahura is also now the last guy surviving. It's a 1 versus 1 versus 2 scenario for the side of the Nom Ching's Red Force. And Nom Ching's Red Force is going to find out No
Ooh.
Fiahura as well. No Fiahura gets eliminated. Holy sport out of the match. And nobody stopping Nom Ching's from this point onward to get that win over the chicken dinner, as Tamar has also been spotted. He is finally going to get that level 3 arsenal, the level 3 vest helmet, but his location, it's completely revealed. He's gonna peek. He's gonna fire. There's a TZ from a different angle that can potentially take him down. He's closing in. You can see in the minimap, TZ's finally pushing in, closing in, cooking a grenade on the player as he's so focused on the car, on the
Ouch.
elimination. The TZ's grenade is gonna connect, and it's over. Nom Shing's Red Force, ladies and gentlemen, as our first winner chicken takers of the day number 3, match number 1.
I love what Nongshim Red Force did over there with the decoy of the cars and then TZ coming in from the back, from the side, and taking that kill for themselves. And once again, the first Rondo map, Nongshim Red Force, their second Rondo chicken dinner in a row. That's absolutely amazing. I don't know if these guys just love this map or they revel in the chaos, but congratulations once again. These are our first chicken dinner takers for today, for this day number 3. So I'm really excited to see what the stats look like. I mean, we saw Hora Esports, they have a lot of eliminations and they got taken out as the number 3 team. So they definitely have a lot of placement points as well. So that's one thing
21.
to look forward to. And also, there's of course Nongshim Red Force getting that chicken dinner. And also, I would like to see how DRX and BTR are gonna look like on the leaderboards because I think DRX has enough points to take over BTR. But you know what? Let's see later on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, 21 points for Hora alone in this match. It's a very, very big jump. Number 3 placement gets 5 placement points, 16 elimination, 21. But Namshing's Red Force, they're also going to have like 20 points for themselves as the Vinavana Chicken Takers. They had the 10 eliminations. They just managed to secure that final elimination right now. But aside from that, Secret, they were on there on the hashtag number 4. The team Kinner Trope was there as a second placement team, so 6 points for the placement just alone, and some decent number of 5, maybe 6 elimination to their name. That's still 12 points. Double digits are on its way for this team as well. But going in on our screen of the Vinavana Chicken Takers, after this Vinavana Chicken dinner, Namching's Red Force is going to have 10 total overall ranking, 10 eliminations, 20 total points. Vinavana Chicken Dame team stats individually, 7 elimination to Doc. So it's between Doc and No Fear at this point. The fight that's going to occur between the MVPs. 7 elimination, 901 damage. We have Vinny with 2 eliminations, 330 damage. 1 elimination for TZ with the final grenade, 411 damage. And we have XZY with 0 elimination, 0 knockout, 0 damage. This was the guy that got early eliminated on, and the rest of the teams just got the winner chicken dinner for themselves. 0 vehicle elimination, 53 eliminations in total, 5 grenade eliminations, 1 airdrop, and 357 meters of the longest elimination. The distant elimination is Sky Hora.
And I love what Nongshim Red Force, the fact that they're on a number 10 on the rankings, on the overall rankings right now, and the fact that they missed the number 1 completely and managed to climb all the way to number 10 anyway. That's absolutely crazy. But of course, we have the MVP of the match. It's none other than No Fear 911 with 7 whole total eliminations. That's like 7 out of 16 eliminations that Horror Esports managed to get in this match. And total damage, that's quite a lot. That's 963 damage with the longest elim of 138 meters. And of course, survival time of 23 minutes and 56 seconds. Unfortunately, Horror Esports didn't make it towards the end, but they still managed to get a lot of points in the bag. And these our stats. This is the damage graph. Hora Esports sitting at the top with 16 eliminations and 2.8k damage. Coming in second will be Nongshim Red Force, 10 eliminations and 1.6k damage. Yangon Galacticos with 8, 1.7k damage. And then that's DRS with 7 eliminations and 800 plus damage. And these are match leaderboards for this match.
This is the match leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Hora with 21, Nom Chings with the chicken, 20 points, Yangon 11, DRS with 7, Kinotrope with a total of 6, 0 elimination that they had. Okay. But DRX with 5 total, Team Secret with 4, 3 for R8, Irina with the 3, 2 for APG, 2 for AST, 1 for Blaz, 4 Thrives BTR, and A1 RG with 000 to their name. This is the match leaderboard. This is just the start. This is just the initialization of the today's matches. In fact, the 6 matches that we're gonna play. This is just the one. 5 more to go for the teams. Overall leaderboard 121. There we go. DRX finally overtaken the BTR by just 1 point into the overall ranking, getting that top position. BTR 120, 99 for Hora, Secret with 98, 82 for Tribe Messi, 80 for DRS, 78 for the Alpha Gaming, 75 for Yangon, Irina 67, 62 for Nom Chings, Kinotrope 57, 54 R8, 4 Thrives 50, 46 for Vampire, 41 for Bloods, 40 for the DK, and A1RG with 39.
Gotta give it to Noshim Red for 7 matches, but they managed to beat 5 teams that showed up to all the matches. So that's absolutely crazy. And of course, DRX for overtaking BTR just now. So that's absolutely crazy. And that's a great start to this day number 3. And of course, this is the MVP race. It looks like Jaiki, Killer T, Rig, and Nia all made it there. And right now, it's Jaiki with the 31 eliminations and 5.3k damage sitting up top. But followed by Killer YT, very close. 29 eliminations, and that's just one player. That's just one person. So these players are absolutely amazing doing their job. Coming in, Rig with 23 and Nia as well. So those were your runnings for the MVPs, and this is going to be really fun. But once again, that was Rondo. That was our first map for today. Moving in forward, we will be seeing a match number 2 with Miramar, and then we're going to have a wrangle. And of course, we'll see Sandhawk once again for that sprinkle of chaos. But for now, that was Rondo with the win for Nongshim Red Force.
Nom Ching's Red Force it was, but what a game, Hora Esports. What a game that they played up. But yes, there's still 5 more matches, and as Annie said, the next one will be the Miramar, with Rondo being done and dusted, the only Rondo that we're gonna play. It's the next bonus phase that we're waiting for, the match number 4, the Sandhawk, where another one of the teams might just commit and end this match within the 20 minutes marker. But right now, before heading into the Miramar, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going for a short break. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us, hit that like button, and we will see you after the short break.
The highly anticipated addition to the Mummy series outfits is here. Paired with the new Ice Tube Glider, the Polar Spectrophage set is just what you need to freeze your enemies. Or send them ablaze with the Inferno Fiend set's new upgradable Chain Inferno Uzi. All the mummy outfits are back. Get them all. Join now and collect the whole series to turn all eyes on the battleground. Event period, July 10th, 2025 through September 2nd, 2025.
Cybertron's future is near. Autobots, roll out! This planet reeks of weakness. Your courage reignites my spark. We'll crowd a new load of Cybertron. Roll for freedom. A victory for all sentient beings.
Come check out WoW version 3.9 during this blistering summer. But watch out so you don't get blasted by ink. The new Ink Blaster fires ink in multiple different colors. Like other firearms, it deals damage, but it also splatters anything it hits with ink. Look at how much fun they're having. Look, seems like the pool party's got some fierce-looking guests. The Smog Zombie and Spitter Zombie have been added to WoW. They're not easy to deal with. Don't miss out on this summer showdown. We might need a janitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after this short break, timer of 5, maybe 6 minutes, I'm not sure, I don't remember. But yes, we're back. It was that short of a break. But Training Ground in Nepal Pro Season number 2, the match in number 2 will start for the final day in a short while. This is your host, Torix. With me is Annie for the day number 3 as well. Annie, welcome back. And the match number 1, what a game it was. But now, finally, we're moving into the matches, the maps where the teams know what they're gonna do and what they are capable of. The Miramas, the Erangels, the Sandhawks. It's about time, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna start off with the Mirama, the longest, the biggest map of them all, the 8x8 after Rondo. I feel like Rondo is much more like bigger than Mirama, even though the size is exactly the same. 8x8 it is. Miramar and Rondo, they are definitely a separate thing. Miramar, you have the complete open angles, complete open areas, whereas Rondo, you can make your own covers. So that's the versatility that the teams do get for themselves. But Miramar, how well are they going to use the ridges, the buggies to climb on top of those big peak of the mountains, get those angles against their opponents, utilize in a short while
That
as it's the Miramar, the match number 2. Almost baited me, Annie.
Yep. All right. That's match number 2 after all, Miramar. And as you said it, there's a lot of, climbing high places in the Miramar and then taking cover as well. So without further ado, that was actually the start of our flight path. And we're seeing bit biased towards eastern side of the map, so I'm pretty sure El Pozo will be a little bit hard to be accessed right now. So the funny thing that the game can do right now is put the first circle over there. But for now, of course, that is the flight path that we're seeing. Everyone's just kind of settling in, and unlike Rondo, Miramar is pretty much like one of the maps where they know what to do. They have plans, they know where to drop off, and then they know where to hide as well, like in Rondo where they're kind of like congregating in the same drop off points and then like getting up picked off so early on with those early pickoffs. And of course, in Sandhawk it's a smaller map, so there's a lot of uncertainties, but here in Miramar we can see just the full kind of skill range of each of these teams. These teams, they know the map well, they know where to hide, they know how to scout out, they know how to rotate into the areas, and they have like set strategies. So we're gonna be finding out how well they play this Miramar map. And there's no like set team that's really good at just Miramar. So you know what? Maybe the winner chicken dinner team might be one of the top teams, or it might be someone like surprising coming up.
I mean, it's just the start of the game, and Arena already losing a player, or did they not join with it? Okay, Avon RG, they were the one responsible for that early fragment, early elimination, and Arena already forced to be into a panic mode at this point. They have to be very conclusive, very precise on their gun skills, on their fights, on which one they want to take, which one they want to avoid. Right now, I'd say they should avoid the fight against the A1RG, because A1RG would have the upper advantage against them, and they can definitely win it out if the fight actually happens against these players. That Storm is here. You can see him, 19 bullets into the Vector, 105 into the backpack. He's ready with that SMG action to take and initialize a knockdown. Maybe on the arenas, but they're not pushing. That's the good part. That's the good part on both parties. Nobody's pushing. Nobody's over pushing at any point in time. They know that whoever is going to push is going to receive the casualty.
And that's exactly why everyone's just playing safe over here. So in this area, we have R8 and Nongshim Red Force trying to contest this area, and it looks like XYZ is inside this building, but slowly but surely R8 is trying to storm the area as well. But on the other hand, somewhere out there in the other map, it looks like A1's CJ Boy will get eliminated off, and now EA will get their first fresh elimination. I mean, it's a trade-off. I mean, they lost one player and now they have one elimination as well. So, give or take, it's not sustainable, but it's a something that get out of. So, looks like there's a Molotov coming in. Doxy is definitely taking those damage. R8 is still at the ground floor, wondering if they'll be going in for that push or will they be waiting out Nongshim Red Force.
Namching's Red Force. Look at this. Look at this stat. Doc. He's the guy. He's the legend. After all of those matches that they have played, the first 2 initial days and the first match of today, he has 16 elimination. But Irina, versus A1RG. It's finally happening, ladies and gentlemen. Option Red Force is also mitigating themselves into a fight, getting some elimination numbers to their name, but also losing some of their own players. As XZY gets a finisher, they're down to the 3 players. They only managed to get a knockdown on the team R8, but not the elimination, not the confirmation. On the other hand, oh my god, do I see 2 eliminations on A1RG? That's 1:2. You took down 1, but you gave out 2 of your own to the enemy side. The Uzi's not gonna work it out. Oh my god, Rowdy, you barely missed it. You could have got that knockdown onto the players, but you missed it out, and now you're in a very panic mode. Doc eliminating Prestige. Prestige getting a knockdown. Now Doxy is finally gonna take that action with the Uzi. 5 bullets. AKM being shot constantly in one direction. 7 more bullets. The peak is there. The headshots are gonna connect, and there we go. Doc is gonna have another knockdown. He's finally gonna move forward, but Damar is finally gonna be eliminated. 4 eliminations. R8 fully being eliminated, and the first fight, that first conclusion of the fight, happened on R8.
Ooh, there we go. We're down to 14 teams and 52 players remaining. So that's R8 will be forced. It will be the first, rather, to go down. But I see some damage being taken, and it looks like just from the mini map, there's still quite a mess over here. There's A1RG coming in, EA with, I believe, just 1 player. That's just Joker around here. I don't know where the rest of their team is, but Kinotrope's also hovering outside. It looks like Mormon will be getting Death Storm. Oh yeah, there we go. There's more players from EA coming in, and Rowdy will be getting shot at, and it looks like A1RG just that quickly. Our second elimination, our second squad elimination was just witnessed. So, you know what? This is pretty fun, but Kinotrope is still out there.
Kinotrope is definitely out there, but wait a minute. 4, 5, 6, no, you had 2 chances. Come on. Still couldn't manage to get a knockdown. Now Jumpfire 456 is going to be the one that are responsible to get knocked out. Even after that first initial elimination numbers that they got against A1RG, the 4, they're still going to lose the player. 456 being finished off. Mormon and Joker, the 2 guys that got those elimination numbers so far, they're the ones alive. They're the ones still into the game, and they will be responsible to secure some decent number of eliminations. But Kinotrope, last match, they couldn't get even a single elimination. This match, at least 1 elimination to their name. Joker is here, taking a peek. He's going to enter. He's going to find out where the enemies are, and I think he did see them. Now, Joker, you need to be very precise what you're going to do. The sprays are coming. Mark is cooking that grenade. You can push, you can go and rush as he's about to throw that grenade. If it comes to you, you're going to be eliminated, but nope, nobody has the slightest of idea that Joker is residing here. A flashbang is going to be thrown. This time, the door closed up early on, and they're the one that gets flashed up. Joker, now, once again, not moving an inch. He knows what's at stake here. There's not 1, there's 2, 3 players of the Kinotrope. They're actually going to push together.
Ooh.
The grenade comes up. Oh my god. I just love it how he survived that finale. Finally, he's going to go get that knockdown. But Mormon, will he get that confirmation? That's the thing. As Tomer gets a knockdown, Kinotrope is losing their players. And no way, ladies and gentlemen. Mark, you got to get into the compound as Joker finally pushes up, gets a knockdown on Mark. It's a confirmation on both of the players, and Joker secures another elimination to his name. Mormon is also alive. 4 to 5 eliminations to the name of Arena right now at this proximity. The 6th one is waiting in the area as Kinotrope is also down to the very last guy. Ozi-san gone for the rescue, but Joker closing on with the UMP 45. You're gone to the wrong place, man. You're gone to the wrong place. But yes, the revive has finally been given out.
Here we go. Joker giving the chase. Ozzy-san just right below them. But at least the good thing is they're kind of playing in an equal field now. Kinotrope with 2 players. Finale is needing that revive. So it's practically a 1 versus 2 with Oji-san, Joker, and a Mormon. And let's see who will come out of this alive, because it looks like Oji-san is trying to run with for their lives. And I mean, Joker over here, they have that SMG, they have that shotgun, but then again, these guys, they don't have the best of guns, and it looks like that'll be the end for Kintrop. Arena manages to stay alive, and Joker does get that last laugh, but over here, it looks like Team Secrets might be our potential third party. So let's see how Team Secret will approach this EA, knowing that EA is just fresh out of an engagement and they're only down to 2 players. So let's see what Team Secret will do about this.
We do will have to see what's going to happen. So far, you can see Bigatron by Vitality, Curine, close to AST, but not that close. But you have to be very careful. This is Miramar. This is the open area. You can see the DRS into the left side, into the northern angles of the minimap. They have the opportunity. They have the chance to take you down from an off-angle location. The shots that can actually occur at you, it can definitely do a lot of damage. But Curine, finally getting into the car, moving out of here, going away, slowly, steadily. It's definitely going to work out, but where are they going? That's the question. Are they going to a safer location? Are they going in on a very aggressive approach? Because so far, what I can see, there is top. There is top from the APG in the area. So from one fight, from DRS all the way to the Alpha Gaming, this transition may work out, may not work out.
Yep. And hopefully it does work out. So, BTR right now, they're out in the open. So I'm a little bit nervous for them. But then again, they're not really in much trouble just yet. And we can see that circle is actually closing in quite a lot already. And there's a lot of teams trying to go ahead and rotate into the area. So we can see actually Horror Esports and Bluzz. They're rotating from the north and DRX towards the west. And there's EA and Team Secret in still the same area, but getting swallowed up by that blue zone. They definitely gonna have to go ahead and get them moving if they don't want to lose too much resources healing up. So with that, the arena might have a little bit of trouble because a Team Secret is out there and waiting on E-Arena to be forced to move to the circle. And that circle is shrinking even more now. So with that, I believe this is like, I can't quite see what stage we are in, but it's stage number 3 rather. Stage number 3 that we are in, and this is gonna get serious. It looks like Yang and Galacticos and Alpha Gaming right now, they're at odds with each other. Yang and Galacticos, still 0 eliminations. Let's see if that's gonna change really soon.
So far, it is definitely 0 elimination, but it might change soon. It might not change soon. We will have to wait out for that. But Yang on Galacticos, one thing that I do see into their performance and into their gameplay is that they're ready. They're ready to get those decent number, to get those eliminations for themselves so far, and they are ready to take that action, the fights at this angle as well. See that, how well they're trying to do it up. We're not seeing those connections going around. Come on. I kind of want to see those number of eliminations that occurs for the players, that occurs for the teams to go on. But come on, the Molotov, it does a lot of damage, but not enough for the casualties. This is what we're talking about. This is what we are saying, that it's not working enough for the teams, for the players. They have to be very precise on what they're doing and how they're going to mitigate the situation for themselves. But so far, it's a Refus going on. No Molotovs and no grenades whatsoever at this point. Alpha Gaming, the 2 players here, versus the Triber Message 3-man standing here.
Yeah, you're actually right. 13 minutes into the game, and they still don't have the ideal guns yet. And speaking of resources, taking a look at their inventories, not much grenades, but I didn't quite catch who had like four grenades. And they were pretty like they had a lot of resources. But then again, it's gonna be a little bit hard to take down Tribe Aromacy at this rate. But they're doing it either way. It looks like Alpha Gaming. They're gonna go ahead for the charge after throwing some grenades in. Doesn't quite chip on their HP, however. So if they really want to solve this problem, they'll go ahead and they spot another team at the distance, but they have to go ahead and get aggressive and push against Tribe Aromacy if they really want to get those eliminations. But of course, they are weighing the risks right now. They don't want to lose a lot of their resources and a lot of their players, so they're just waiting about, and that's pretty much what everyone's doing right now. So, just taking a look at the map, DRS versus Bloods, I believe. I just saw some bullets coming in, and that circle is gonna close in really soon. Looks like East will be getting 2 knocks against AST, and that's a finisher for Rig, and that's a finisher for Delta as well. So, it looks like ASC's in a little bit of trouble. Can't quite catch where their stats are. So anyways, ASC, you know what? They lost 2 players to the side of APG.
I mean, right now, the situation is going good for them, but not for the other team. Arena, they're doing a really great job. 7 elimination, but VTR, because run by Vitality, they're going to take that first position back from the DRX, as DRX is also in the game so far. 0 elimination. BTR wants to get some decent number of eliminations down upon on the enemy side, but East is going to push forward. Cureen gets a knockdown. It's in the back line. The rest of the players of the team BTR closing in. Refus is pushing on. As Refus pushes on, there was a grenade that made sure that the player's not pushing any further. AST is also taking the players of the BTR down. Okay, Tribe Messi, in the midst of all of this fight, they were just chilling here, right, in this compound. The moment the player actually went in, that was a very, very hard-hitting move. That was a surprise element of factor for the players. He did not know what hit them at that point, and right with this, we can see what's happening, what's going on by all of these players as Ease gets taken down. Refus is waiting for the opportunity that a Tribe Messi pushes on, but I see Refus. I see the players of the Tribe Messi throwing the grenades into the area. I see Bigatron by Vitality rushing on a third party in the back line, but Fedralis, his own grenade is going to take down Bumblebee. This is not good. This is not good whatsoever. What are you doing, BTR?
Oh my gosh, that is the question. Now let's see how BTR will come out of this, because it doesn't look very good for them. I believe it's just a Federalis, and it's gonna be hard to go ahead and get those points after this rate. But ASC, all of a sudden, they also get eliminated off, and there's a lot of teams that got picked off with just 1 elimination. So it's kind of unfortunate for them that they've lost the chance to get more out of this game. But E-Arena, however, they're doing really well. That's 7 eliminations on their side. And looks like Alpha Gaming, they might be doing well as well. Oh, DRS Gaming, a little bit of trouble. You have to Uta on the red. Killer Whitey's gonna be next. Example and Cyclone, they're still up in the running. Oh, no, Example just got knocked down. I think it's just Cyclone. And with that, Alpha Gaming was that. I didn't quite catch the name of the team that picked them off, but that was quite amazing. It was very fast paced, but yeah, Alpha Gaming back in. Team Secret out in the distance. Federalis is still lounging about down below, trying to see if they can stay alive. But yeah, it's a bit messy right now. 17 minutes into the game.
17 minutes into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, we can see 17, 18 minute on the mark, but 6 to all the way 11. The teams are down, dusted. Fourth Rise is the only one in the middle of this to be surviving to be alive. So there's that. There's that going on. Be very careful, Fourth Rise, on what you are going to do, how you're going to play it off. Yangon Galacticos on our screen as well. In the circle so far. It's a good start that they're in the circle, but they're close to the proximity of the Fourth Rise. So why are they drifting? This is not the time to drift, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the time to drift for these players, but they're doing it anyway. Secret going to this team. They're being forced to get that damage maybe from arenas on the northern angles. Hora Esports, in fact, is there. East is there. Secret Zeus near the team Alpha Gaming. Alpha Gaming is one of the team that is inside the circle, but fourth times. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Blood Official getting that first initial elimination on Fourth Rise's player. That's one elimination going on, but the rest of the parties, they're still going to be alive. Nongxing reinforced Shrine for Fourth Rise as Fourth Rise gets the better of them with the flare. Fadak coming from the back, getting a knockdown. Beanie's here. A smoke grenade is going to be deployed. Sleepy Hora gets taken down by Bloods as well. But not only just one team here, but two different teams. But Beanie, beautiful 1897, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is on its very toes, but instantly, that's Falak coming up. Falak with that shot, getting all the three players down and out of the players of Nom Shengs. That's 3 eliminations for Fourth Rise. 4 eliminations, in fact, with 3 players still remaining.
I love it. I love it so much. All this chaos and Alpha Gaming going out of that engagement with the 6 eliminations to their name. Absolutely amazing. Oh, this is what I want to watch. This is Horror Esports. Last game, they had 16 eliminations. Let's see how they do right now, because they're still at 4 eliminations, but there's still 28 players left standing. And these guys, they're a full squad. They have all of their players. And now they're going to be going against Alpha Gaming, which, by the way, Alpha Gaming has quite the momentum right now. Sleepy's taking a lot of damage, and they are also quite out in the open. There's also Bluzz lounging about near them as well. So this is a bit complicated for the side of Horror Esports, but they have a pretty good track record, so I'm pretty confident that they'll give us a pretty good performance right now. And taking a look at how the rest of these teams are doing, it looks like Alpha Gaming will be towards their south. Blues is also lounging about, and the rest of the 9 teams, they're somewhere out there. But right now, let's watch what Horror Esports will do in this situation.
Yep, that's one thing we will have to see what's going to happen at this point, as Sleepy Hora right now on our screen alongside of Sky Hora. Both are here at the corner of the circle. The 16 seconds, 15 seconds more in the circle will definitely close up. We're going to see our next circle in a short while. And it's definitely going away from these guys. Top 9 it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of players going down still at this particular angle. But the circle shift is going to be intense this time. Not too much. Down to the very center of the previous one it goes. For Thrive, close to DRX, the team that has the #1 position right now for themselves. The crowning champions that they can be. As Bigatron is also alive, but as a solo player, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Naki finally gets a knockdown. It's a confirmation, and Fourth Rise is right now down to the last 2. Horror Sports also facing some casualties, getting knockdowns. 4 eliminations is also into their hands. Alpha Gaming versus Horror. The shots are going. The connections are not making it through. It's not a knockdown, and an easy revive coming on for Horror Esports' player.
Absolutely, and I think Horror Esports, I don't really like their location right now, but I don't think they have a choice either. They probably didn't rotate early enough, so they're kind of forced to stay in this area. But they're getting bombarded right now, all the while Federalis finally gets a caught. And they're out of the game, and no placing points whatsoever. But Alpha Gaming bombarding Horror Esports, lots of them under red. But on the other hand, it looks like from just the leaderboards. Oh, there we go. I think Horror is also gonna be in trouble. They refuse. All they have to do is put one more bullet. Oh, there we go. Wokai does that, steals that knock from the side of Alpha Gaming. So Blues is definitely in there. Horror Esports, no fear, still alive, and they need to go ahead and revive. I believe that was Sleepy that was down. because he's in trouble right now. It looks like the play zone's eating up some players, and Wakai actually steals that kill, takes a sleepy down. But of
Nice.
course, no fear horror. Oh, that's a lot of sprays. But unfortunately, Alpha Gaming will be getting the last laugh. And with that, it looks like Bluzz once again takes another kill on their side.
That's another kill going around right there, ladies and gentlemen. Irina also in all of this fights taking those actions. There we go. Some eliminations on Irina's Kona's Hora Esports also facing a lot of casualties as the last guy is right now alive. Jiggle Hora receiving a lot of damage, and there we go. Jiggle gets eliminated. Right after that, there's Alpha Gaming also been taken out of the match. It's a back and forth of two different teams. 6 teams total are remaining right now. From this point onward, there's not a lot of placements that you can be. It's a majority of the area completely out into the open. The only cover that you have are these cars, are the rocks that you can take. Arena gets eliminated. 10 eliminations that they had. But with the elimination numbers now coming up on the hashtag number 6, they get eliminated. They receive 2 points. 3 is going to be given out to the team that will get eliminated here. 4 Thrives with 5 total points so far. Team Secret with 4, 3 for Bloods, 2 for Yangon, and DRX still alive. I'm really amazed to see this. That DRX being alive instantly mean one thing, that either they're here to take that winner chicken dinner, or to make sure that the top position that they just finally received for themselves, they make it soar high from this point onward. They want to soar high into the overall ranking. The number 1 position, as Bigatron has finally been eliminated at one point in time with 0 points whatsoever. So even right now, if DRX gets eliminated, they're still gonna receive like what, five total points. In fact, 5 total points, yes, for themselves. So still 5 extra points against Team BTR more. It's definitely an amazing thing. 6 total points will be the difference if they get eliminated at this point, but 12 teams are remaining. We have 4 Thrives in the midst of all of this. T4 and Falak together. Now, slowly pushing forward, staying into the compounds. They know that they have the circle on the top of the mountain. There's also Bluzz Esports just chilling out there. They know that even Bloods know that 4 man alive we just have to take that final fight. We just want that winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's between the 4 teams that are still up in the running for that chicken dinner. And yeah, all eyes on DRX right now. They are at the top, but they're only 1 point above BTR. And BTR right now, they're sitting on 0 points. And DRX, although they have, like, they're gonna put a huge gap, not that huge, like a considerable gap against BTR. BTR still has 4 more maps to go, so there's a lot of changes that could potentially happen for the overall leaderboards. And you know, like, just personally, I'm pretty sure these teams will start getting nervous in our match number 5 for today, perhaps, because that's the point where it's gonna be a little bit hard to change your fate already. But right now, we're still in match number 2 for today, and everyone's racking up as much points as possible. Looks like 4 Thrives Esports, we're seeing their perspective right now. 5 eliminations on Palak, and they're doing quite well. And they already have T24 also has 1 elimination, and they have YG on the crosshairs, trying to see if they can get some pickups. And I really love the position that 4 Thrives is having right now. They're just putting bullets against YG, not quite resulting into the knocks that they need, but that's a pretty good angle that they have. I like their location, but they're not getting the knocks and the eliminations that they need from that.
I mean, right now, it's just these top 4, right? It's just this top 4 of the engagements, and there is no knowing fight when they will get into that very aggressive stances. As the Yangon Galacticos finally going against the DRX, getting some damages, getting a knockdown. DRX is gonna lose down. That's 3 players are remaining. Bloods official is still going to be scattered into the northern side of the map, just chilling out there, waiting for the opportunity that's going to present themselves. For Thrives tapping on for Yangon Galacticos' player is going to get any kind of connections as they're behind the ridge. T4 finally getting that M416, receiving some bullets. You don't have enough bullets as well. That's the thing. Fourth Rise, they're low on bullets, they're low on the ammo as well. But Fourth Rise, Falak finally gonna be taken down. Romeo Boy is the one responsible for that. It's a confirmation going around. Blood's official gets Voke. Voke is the guy that's responsible for that elimination. But Fourth Rise, their first one to get eliminated into the top four, as Yangon Galacticos gets their hand into another elimination to themselves. Now, with 4 elimination, Bloods official as a 4-man, they're pushing on Yangon Galacticos. The Yangon Galacticos, we do have to see what's going to happen as Gyrosa threw that grenade. It definitely hit. It definitely got a connection and knockdown onto the players. As a Bloods official, now with 4-man unit. As a full squad, they are pushing. Look at this. Another one down. Master Smile, the potential only person to get that revival done, to get those casualties on towards the Blood Officials players as well. The revival's been done, but the players have finally made its way. One more bullet on the S12K, but the S12K is not going to connect. Finally, Voke gets taken down, and Voke finally even survives 7 elimination. 10 on its way. It's going to be a 10 elimination winner in a chicken dinner, I can say for sure, against for the Bloods official. DRX still managing to get that number 2 position, even if they get eliminated here. So 6 points, 1 elimination, 7 in total they're going to receive. Still on the number 1, they're going to reside. They are still the table toppers at this point. But I'm really hoping DRX pulls off a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bloods right now, they're on a roll, definitely. Oh, they just took out Big Mama, so this is gonna be a little bit hard. The husband is over here getting some knocks, and that's a finisher on Axie. So that's one elimination on the side of DRX. Oops, and there we have it. Not for long. Gyro gets that final elimination and solidifies Bloods as a winner chicken dinner for this match number 2 on day number 3. I mean, they have a lot of eliminations coming in. I believe it's like they're up at 9 eliminations right now, or even maybe more. And DRX, they have a decent amount of points coming in. There's not that much eliminations, but there's a lot of placement points. So they put a considerable gap between them and BTR on number 2. So I'm really excited to see how the overall rankings will look after this match.
Oh, I love that. 10 elimination in total. Bloods official winner chicken dinner. 20 total points. But DRX, number 2, with 6 placements, 2 elimination, 8 total points. They're going to be chill into the number 1 placement because BTR was the only team that were trying to get those eliminations against them at the one point in time. But aside from that, we do have to see what's going to happen to the rest of the teams, if anyone is going to be actually close to the proximity, close to the area where they're taking the fights and all of that thing that's happening. And on that factor, how many of those more eliminations are we going to see into the next 4 matches, because it's the final day? Every single momentum that you're going to have for yourself, it depends on this. It depends on these 4 matches. A BTR, DRX, the table topper fight is between these 2 teams going head to head. BTR secured the first 2 days on the number 1 for themselves, but in an instant, as soon as we move to the day number 3, DRX takes that throne. But going on to the overall ranking, on the 11th position, it is Blood Official after this winner chicken dinner. 10 elimination, 2062 damage. Going to the distance travel in the Miramar, it's 45.2 kilometers and a total of 57 throwables used by these 4 players.
Actually, that's a lot of throwables, but these are the individual stats coming in with Bloods. So, Wakai, 4 eliminations, Rocks with 3, Gyro with 2, and Axie with 1. So, that's a decent amount of damage, especially coming in from Gyro with 733, and not much eliminations to show for it. Denial of those kills, or probably like a lot of healing that happened over there. But this is the match summary. We do have 56 total eliminations, 3 grenade eliminations, 3 airdrops looted, 9,984, almost 10,000 healing done. And Say Cloud does get the longest elimination of 384 meters, and unfortunately 0 vehicle eliminations.
Oh yeah, zero vehicle elimination whatsoever. But more matters the MVP, ladies and gentlemen, from Arena. 6 elimination, 901 damage, 26 meters. Is the longest elimination that this guy actually took off. So DBS, maybe M416 in the mid-range, UMP45. That's all there was. A survival time of 22 minutes and 36 seconds from this guy throughout this whole gameplay. In this 22 minutes, he got 6 elimination. Going to the damage graph, it is Bluzz with 10 to 2062 damage. 10 elimination for Arena, 1891 damage. Yangon, 4 elimination, 1325. 4 thrives, 5 elimination, 1379. Alpha Gaming, 8 to 2041. Going to the DRX, 975 damage with 2 elimination to their name. Team Secret with 4, 853 damage. Hora Esports with 5, 1332. Hora Esports, even in this match, they still did a decent number of performance. 5 elimination is a good number. Going to the match leaderboard, 20 total points to the 12 total points. 9 for Yangon, 9 for 4 thrives. Alpha Gaming 9, DRX with 8, 7 for Team Secret, 6 for Hora, 4 for Nam Shing's AST with 1 alongside of R8, Kinotrope, A1RG. But DRS and BTR, not a single point.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a single point. PTR unfortunately doesn't get a point again in this map. So, not to be pressuring or not to be nervous, there's still 4 more maps, but still, TRX, they're slowly catching up. And the fact that TRX managed to get 8 points from this, so that puts them at the 9-point gap against BTR. So, we're going to be seeing that in the overall leaderboards later on. But yes, a plus does get our winner chicken dinner and a lot of eliminations as well. That's a whole 20 points from this match. So excited to see how that will affect the overall leaderboards. And coming in second, of course, EA with 12. That's still a considerable amount of points. And that goes the same with YG40 and APG. But my curiosity is at BTR and DRX. And with that, yep, that's a 9-point lead. Going in for DRX and BTR at 120. Not much has changed since this day started. Coming in third and fourth, however, Hora finally catching up, tying with Team Secret with the amount of total points at 105. They're contesting for number 3 and number 4 over here. And at number 5, Alpha Gaming, a drop of almost 20 points all the way at 87. But lounging about as well, number 6 and number 7 is YG and AST, just a few points away from Alpha Gaming. So, once again, there's still 4 more maps. So, this table is still a little bit uncertain. Lots of things can still change, but either way, GRX right now, they do have number 1 rank, and that's already 2 maps in a row. So let's see if they'll show us the consistency until the end of this tournament.
We do have to see if we're going to see the consistency till the very end or not so far. I do love the fact that we have Secret after overtaking that 100-point marker. Triple digits are finally been taken by more than 2 teams at this point. But going into the fact that there's still 4 more matches, the chances for these 2 teams to overtake the DRX and the BTR to number 1 position, it's not saying deniable. It's not saying superficial at this point. There's a slight possibility of that, Annie. There's a slight possibility of that. Just 1 chicken, maximum 1 chicken, and a second game of very good placement that you can get over the elimination. You're going to be able to overtake both of these teams. But ladies and gentlemen, match number 2 is done and dusted. After this, it's Erengo time. It's a resetting map time. When the teams are ready, and they sure will be, because the only 2 wrangles that will be played right now. But before going into the wrangle match, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to head into a very short break. Do not go anywhere. Do not leave the premises. We'll be right back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god!
Don't know how to summon a Transformers bot? Watch this video to learn how. To summon a Transformers bot, you first need to obtain a Space Bridge beacon, the Neon Outpost core crate, Astro guaranteed ways to obtain a space, so a chance to obtain one through other means. Neon Outpost premium supply piles, Space Bridge entrance, classic area themed crate, darkens at 400. You can equip
फलो गर्यो भनेको त थोरै न मलाई पछि लागिरहेछ भनेछु त अब टक्क लाएर इन्स्टामा फलो हान नि त इन्स्टा नभए टिकटक पनि चल्छ एउटा दामी बर्गर पोइन्ट थाहा छ 15 मिनेट मात्र लाग्छ 50 मिनट्स त भनेको थिएँ नि मैले ब्रो त खासै बोल्दैन क्या हो हुन त म पनि खासै बोल्दिन चुप लाग्छु हौरमा मात्रै घुम्छु तिमी एक शब्द पनि बोल्दैनौ तिमीलाई के मन पर्छ नियोन आउटपोस्ट ब्ल्याक मार्केट कि एस्ट्रोडेन्ट ब्रो अब यो नभन कि तिमी पोर्टलबाट एस्ट्रोडेन्टमा गएर फाइट हाने छैन भनेर ओके केही त भन न
Alright, we are back to PUBG Mobile's Training Grounds Season 2. We just witnessed day number 3's match number 2, and we're going to be moving on to our first Erangel map for tonight. So, with that, there's a lot of things to look forward to. For example, the overall rankings. There's a lot of pressure coming in with BTR and DRX. And of course, a very interesting development with Horror Esports and Team Secret coming in rank number 3 and number 4. But once again, we are your casters, and my name is Annie, and Torix is with me. Torix, what are your thoughts so far?
I mean, I did say that it's just a matter of fact of one winner and a chicken dinner from this point onward between these 4 total teams, the top 4, to overtake another one to get that number 1 position for themselves. So whosoever secures that winner and a chicken dinner, and then the very next match, they get like 5, maximum 10 points overall, right? They will not be able to take that particular team down from the overall ranking for the rest of the day, as I know for a fact that after this match, the momentum, the time, how the teams are playing, the momentum is going to completely shift. It's going to completely overturn. The teams that were going slow, they're going to go fast. The teams that were going fast, they're going to go slow from that point onward. And BTR may be one of the teams that might go for a faster pace, as they've so far has been going for a slower pace thing. So will have to wait out for what's going to happen, how the teams will be playing it up, because it's Erangel. Then we have Sandhawk. Then we have Miramar. And last but not the least, we have Erangel once again. So these 4 matches that will be played, that will be accomplished here with the resetting map to the very aggressive map, the most aggressive map that we usually see throughout the thing, as Sandhawk being played as the match number 4. that's going to change the momentum for majority of the teams. But going into the match, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the match number 3, finally taking that flight from near the Stolber area, the western side of Stolber. I think that's Primox, in fact, Lipovka area. Yes, Lipovka area down towards the side of the quarry.
And there we have it. We have our pretty good flight path. So there's like a lot of places are really accessible from this. So we're gonna expect that perhaps we won't be seeing that much early game engagements, but there probably still will be. I haven't seen a match yet with this lineup where there hasn't been a death, or an elimination rather, a kill. So like within the first 5 minutes. So this is what we're gonna be like expecting right now. We might have some early game engagements, but after that, I think it might be more or less a slow game because that flight path is pretty forgiving, and no matter where the circle is, I don't think the players will have so much of a hard time. So with that, expect these teams to go about and do their Erangel thing. And once again, this is match number 3 on the final day. This is their fourth to the last chance to get as much points as possible. So there's a lot of pressure, especially for the teams vying for one of the placements. But oh my gosh, that first circle is like 40% water. So this
Oh
is going
my
to be
god.
interesting. I want to see what these teams will do about that.
Oh, it's a very dangerous circle, Annie. Let me tell you, this is very intense for the teams, for the players, for even us right now, because almost 40% it's in water. The rest, okay, 40-50% of the teams, they're in the circle. It's complete to that ratio, but aside from that, the rest of the teams, they're outside, and you can already see into the mini screen Yangon Galacticos trying to take down one player mid-air. Come on, please be able to do that. I would love that. I would love this moment to happen. I want to see this moment to occur. He has a shotgun in hand now. He's not going to be able to get anyone down from that parachute. So I'm really sad about that, but he's finally gonna chase him up. He's gonna get into the car. He's gonna chase that parachute up straight up. Oh no, this is a 100 IQ move. You can't take the player down in midair. Chase him. As soon as he drops down, you have him right into your palm of your hand. But Smile, Master Smile, finally gonna go to the containers towards his own team members, and they're gonna loot up these container side. Where you don't usually see a lot of players at the containers, but we have Yangons in this match at the very least, looting up the containers.
That's exactly what they're doing right now, just looting up the containers. And it's a good thing that there aren't really anyone else coming in, so they can like safely go about and loot this place up, especially since it's so quite out in the open. And with that, I think they're just gonna have a field time. They're gonna go ahead and get as much guns, as much healing kits, as much ammo as possible, and with that, they might go ahead and get that vehicle as well. So because I think I'm not sure where they are, but they might be a little bit far from the circle, so they'll have to get moving later on. They are 300 meters away, and we're looking at, yep, Yangon Galacticos. Where was he? They're all the way in ruins, and I think this is Giorgio Pool. So, um, well, Yangon Galacticos, I think they have something cooking in mind, but Romeo Boy being all alone in the ruins for their team, it's fine. He has good guns, but I wonder what their plan is. E Arena over here still alive, and unfortunately, there weren't any early game engagements. We're already 4 minutes in, so I was wrong. And with that, you know what? I think we're just waiting for maybe mid to late game for any action to occur.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna wait for maybe stage number 3, stage number 4 to occur when we're gonna finally see the fights to happen or something like that. But so far, 4th rides on our screen. They're also getting some loot for themselves, slowly and steadily. Finale 76, his car near the premises of Pachinki. He's driving away from the Pachinki side, but you are not going to find anyone here. You still have a long way to go, a long, long way to go on where you want to be. As the circle was kind of onto the western side shift, so they're forced to take that hard shift towards the western side. But what I feel like in my gut is the fact that the circle, the next circle, the very next circle, Annie, I feel like it's gonna go towards the complete hard eastern angle, and everybody's just gonna be running back and forth from west to east, east to west, these kind of things. And I would love that, because it gives so much momentum to the teams, and already the teams that have cemented themselves already at the very start of the circle, it kind of creates a diversity with that. Frankie finally taking down Flash, and there is that elimination going around as A1RG gets a knockdown, a confirmation on Team Secret.
Uh-huh. Unfortunately for Team Secret at that, but I think it's not over. Oh no, Rowdy! I think everyone just saw that. I mean, he threw a grenade, it bounced off the wall, and and Rowdy's the one that got knocked down. Oh well. But Team Secret versus A1RG, it's not looking very good. A Flash over here is gonna get eliminated, and with that, that's the rest of A1RG as well. And they go say bye bye with only one elimination to their name. But well, let's see what Team Secret's up to. I mean, they do have three eliminations, and I think it's a little bit quiet on their part of the map after A1RG got picked off. But right now, after that, we might be seeing a potential BTR and Kinotrope engagement. So let's see what's gonna happen, especially when BTR will be pulling up with their vehicles, and Kinotrope Gaming, they definitely heard those noises. So they're just gonna stay in the houses and then potentially watch out for any possible pickups. It looks like Mark will be going on a vehicle. So I don't know what plan they're cooking up, but definitely a good idea for Ozzy-san to stay in this house and collect as much information as possible. And I think Bumblebee is doing exactly that as well. Scopes out, trying to see if they can pick off anyone from Kinotrope. I think they spot one. Let's see if those bullets would connect.
I mean, we have just seen a single full team being eliminated. Aside from that, the rest of the teams, whether they get into the fight, they just instantly disengage with that, go to a different directions, and that's exactly what happened right here. You have the prime example on your screen for Thrives versus the fight that they actually wanted to occur. It did not happen. Namshing's Red Force just instantly went poof. Okay, we're done with this. We're not going to take any more fights. We're just going to go away. But Beanie, so far, easier. Let's see. So far in the Bucky going towards the side of Yatauta. So it's DRS that can see these guys. But BTR receiving that damage from the DRS? No way, no way, no way. It's going on. BTR again on the receiving end. No, come on. You had 2 good days. Do not make the last day on the panic side. Do not put the last day as a bad day for yourself that you're not going to be able to come into the very top. I'm really hoping for this team to do something really great, really amazing, so they can be on the number 1. But so far the things are not looking good for them. Risey alongside of the players, Kent alongside of Federalis, all 3 players, they're gonna slowly approach together each other towards Yangon Galacticos, towards the DRS side. So it's not just one team, it's 2 different teams at 2 different angles that will be going on head to head against each other.
Yes, and that's what we're all waiting for. Really want to see some action, but BTR already losing one player. That makes me just a little bit nervous, especially since they were doing so well in day number 1 and 2. But of course, that actually applies to several teams already. It looks like they're getting a little bit pressured, a little bit nervous. Yes, all the way. Joker finds a 1 against Horror Esports. No fear, I believe they just got eliminated over here, and they have to go ahead and rotate out of this area because they're getting eaten up by the blue zone. But yeah, going back, you can actually see some signs of nervousness from the teams, especially A1RG. They had that fumble with the grenade, and of course BTR kind of falling off for these last 3 maps. I mean, right now they still do have a chance. They still have 3 players, but they have a lot of catching up to do if they don't want DRX to keep getting that number one spot, they have to take it away. It's just such a shame that day one and day two they were doing so well. They have to get that number one spot back. And so with that, Horror Esports, however, down to two players and zero eliminations. So I mean, they still have a chance. They're still alive and they're still looking for other players to eliminate. But with two players, it's going to be a little bit hard to go against all the other squads, especially since a lot of the squads are still all four players standing on the roster. So let's see what happens. Yango Galacticos is still here also, trying to see if they can find some eliminations on their side.
Mm-hmm. So far, it's a start. It's close quarters. What we're seeing, the teams are running around to the close quarters, going back to the long ranges. This and that. That's happening. Secret is on our screen so far with 3 eliminations to their name as well. Horror Esports losing 2. BTR having 3 players remaining into the proximity as well. But here we go. Namching's Red Force versus Secret. The shots have been done. The location has been revealed. And now Secret will definitely be pushing towards the Namching's Red Force. But they have to be very careful. Yes, even though this is a very open area, you also have to be very precise on where you're going to stop your car and get out of there, because that single minuscule moment where you have your animation, that's where the enemies is going to stuck you. That's where the enemies is going to struck you, and maybe you will get taken down. So be very careful if you're getting out of the car, if you're changing your seats, or any of those sorts of possible things that can potentially harm you. Binny now finally moving back. There's the rest of his team, like Cheesy and Doc, I'd say, into the back lines, the compartments. Whereas those compartments are outside of the circle, they're definitely going to give him and provide him with a little bit of cover.
Just a little bit of cover. Let's see what's gonna happen though for the rest of the team, since we're gonna be closing in on a pretty small circle. It's gonna be closing in Gatka, a bit of Quarry, and Team Secrets out here going against Young Galactico. Strang sprays in, gets that finisher, gets that knock as well. Now it's just Strang actually. Strang's the only one from Team Secret. 1 versus 1. 1/4 of health. Oh my gosh, actually knocks Turney down. But there's someone else out there. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Oh, there we go. Finally, Trang gets picked off. But it was a good run. There was a 1 versus 2 where Trang won, but all of a sudden the third person from Yangon Galacticos swoops in and finally puts the nail on the coffin. So Team Secret goes down with 4 eliminations on their side. Yangon Galacticos lost 2 players. But over here, we're gonna watch now Nongshim Red Force with Alpha Gaming out in the open with their vehicles. So let's see who's gonna come out of this. All the while, Horror Esports is also getting some kills on their side. Oh my gosh, DRS takes down Federalis. I mean, that's a knock on the side of Federalis. So there's a lot of things going on all over the map. So we're just gonna watch E-Arena right now.
I mean, at this point, we are seeing a lot of casualties at a lot of different places. 4 thrives, they're going to have 1 elimination. BTR is going to lose another one of their players as Yangon Galacticos is throw a grenade at them. It's a knockdown, but not a confirmation. Bloods, they're going to have their first elimination to their name. Yangon is finally going to get Rizzy out of the match. Prestige is also being eliminated. And Bloods official is getting some more and more eliminations to their number. R8 out of the match right there. And then Bloods official, 3 elimination to their names. Bigatron by Vitality, Kent, the one and only guy, the one and only hope for the whole team. It's everything residing onto this guy. Romeo Boy, he's here. 10 S12Ks, bullets, lock and loaded. Backside, it's BTR. Frontline, it's DRS and APG, Alpha Gaming. The moment they're going to move and get out of here, that's when the clock is going to strike. That's when the fights are going to start to happen. Romeo Boy, you can't leave this house. You can't leave this angle without like a solid cover, solid opportunity that the time may provide to you. But 10 seconds, stage number 4 is going to occur. Stage number 4 is going to be made. Another radius shift, and everyone's going to be in a very panicked mode. 3 elimination, ladies and gentlemen, you can see on the Blood side, and those 3 crates right next to each other. I love the fact that there's all 3 crates, all the 3 eliminations at one particular place that happened by this team. It shows that, okay, anytime that the team moved to that area, they were doing it wrong, and Bloods knew exactly where to strike them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bloods get those kills. But we're here actually out in the open, and there's AST just rotating into the area. That's Zio from AST, from Tribe Eremacy, that's about to walk into the den of blues. 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 Zio? Into the den of blues. 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 Zio? Into the den of blues. 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 into the den of blues, into the den of blues, into the den of blues, into the den of blues. CO throwing grenade into the den of blues, into the den of blues, into the den of blues, into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues, 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 into the den of blues. CO throwing grenade into the den of blues. CO throwing into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues. CO throwing grenade into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues, into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues. CO throwing into the den of blues, 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 into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues, into the den of blues, into the den of blues, into the den of blues. CO 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 into the den of blues. 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 CO into the den of blues. Into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues. CO into the den of blues. 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 Into It's Waka is already on the red, so they're in. It's Waka is already on the red, so they're in. It's Waka is already on the red, so they're. It's Waka is already.
And supply shops are guaranteed ways
Trying to get some big damage on their side. Let's see y'all. Oh, they do get knocked down by QXZZD on the side of DRX. East is still alive. I think there's a chance for APG to go ahead and get those revive. No, there's the opportunity is not there anymore. They're down to two people, East and Top, trying to go against DRX, and DRX they are also down to two people. So this is a potential two versus two rather. A potential for 2 versus 2. They also have to worry about the rest of the players. 22 players remaining on this map.
5 eliminations to the DRS. That's all I'm seeing right now with 4 men standing into the game. Alpha Gaming versus Tribal Messi. Finally, the shots connected. East after all that first spray going into the very Oblivion. The second spray connected. Kent also gets eliminated. So BTR is out of the match as well on the hashtag number 9. Still not a single placement point. Come on. But now, to go into the side of Alpha Gaming, they're in the center position, I'd say, of the circle. There's a lot of players scattered around them in Nongshim's Red Force at the corner. One player out, one player in. The player that's out, he's trying to move in, but Yeta Uta constantly shooting at the guy, making sure that the car is losing a lot of HP. The player is losing a lot of HP. He is forced to take a detour or reroute himself into the circle. But it's not going to be possible. That's the thing. It's not going to be possible here. You have to take that car. You have to straight up go inside of that circle. But APG East, he's one of the guys that's been taken down. APG Alpha Gaming is also down to the very last guy. The only teams that is surviving right now as a full man unit is the DRS, and the chances of the DRS getting a chicken dinner, winner chicken dinner, it's really high. Yangon Galacticos, Master Smiley receiving a grenade, getting some slight damage of the grenade, the splash damage that occurred. The S12K coming into the example gets Master Smiley, and a third party ensued. DRS, that's the 7th elimination that they have so far, Annie.
DRS is doing quite well in this map, and to think that they have all 4 players and with full health at that, so that's pretty that was pretty good for them. That's pretty good for TRS. They're doing really well. But I can see in this map, it's getting a little bit chaotic. There's like several teams up in the same compound, and I think this is gonna be really fun later on. But unfortunately, nothing's popping up in the kill feed just yet. So this is gonna be a waiting game for everyone involved. DRS, however, still positioning themselves outside of where all the KS is. All
Oh,
4, 5, 6 is in
nice.
trouble. Romeo Boy getting all those bullets in, and that's actually a finisher on 4, 5, 6. Now, just taking a look at how EA is doing right now. It looks like there's only 1 player left. Tamara is very low in health. Oops, and the last player from E Arena does get picked off, and so that's a bye-bye for now on their side. Kinotrope Gaming 1 versus 1 all manages to get that against Romeo, but YG does say goodbye. And now we're down to the top 5 teams already.
Into the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. DRS, APG, DRX, Kinotrope, and Nom Shing's Red Force. It's a solo, it's a duo, it's a trio, and we have a DRS as a full squad. Not even a full squad now. Okay. They actually lost one of their players. I just realized that. But DRX, they're the first one in the top 5 to get eliminated. Alpha Gaming here, close to the Kinotrope's player. Let's see. As a duo, top east, what they're going to do. Spotted marks, the spray's going up, but not a connection. Come on! You couldn't get a knockdown. This is not the way to go. Alpha Gaming, now you have to throw the grenade. That's top grenades. Finally gets Ozizan down. It's a single knockdown. Second one on its way. The trajectory will hit the player. Nope, it did not going to hit the player. Nobody's gonna receive any damage right there. But top, let's see. The sprays, the throwables is happening. No connection. Alpha Gaming E spotted by the DRS. No way! A third party? No way, ladies and gentlemen. We have a third party DRS taking that initiative against not only just Alpha Gaming, but now Kinotrope as well, as they will definitely get those elimination numbers and more for themselves. You can see top kind of like now as a solo player surviving into the area. DRS kill YT, taking down another player of Kinotrope from the car. Oh my god, this is insane.
Absolutely top. Oh my gosh, Mark is in trouble, but top is also taking damage, so they're gonna have to keep him moving. And Mark is safe for now, but top is the last player from Alpha Gaming, so he has to be a little bit careful. Whoa, that was crazy. But wait a minute. Oh yeah, top does get the kill against Mark and someone else from another team. They took the kill for the other player from, and then that's just like goodbye for Kinotrope for now. But DRS Gaming, 3 players left, and they have the best chances of getting this chicken dinner for within these top 3 teams. I mean, Alpha Gaming, it's just 1 player left, and Nongshim Red Force, they're down to 2 players. So GRS, they have control of this field. The circle favors them. Nongshim Red Force is still outside. In Alpha Gaming, it's gonna be a little bit hard to move, especially since top is the only one left. So DRS Gaming, they are like dominating the circle, and they have the potential to gatekeep. Let's see how they will execute just their plan right now, since they have the best chances of winning right now.
They do. They do have the best chances right now, from what we can see. But still, Nonshing's Red Force Alpha Gaming, we have seen these kind of teams do it throughout this whole 2 days of tournament into the past few days. That how even a solo player is capable of securing that winner chicken dinner for themselves. So. In a short while, we definitely will see that what's happening, what's not happening, how they're doing it. Alpha Gaming top so far, close to the NS Nomshing Red Forces Flare, 2 versus 1 versus 3. They have the center of the circle, and they're just gonna be chill about it. Cyclone, if he gets taken down, now that's gonna create the difference. With top, you have the chance. Take the opportunity. Take down Doc. Take down the second guy. Get that number 2 position into the overall.
Ooh. Oh, there we go. Top 2 versus 1, and of course they stood no chance. Nongshim Red Force gets the last laugh, but at what cost? However, look at how small their health is, and the one knock against them. So DRS, they have the upper hand. Ooh, there we have it. One good shot at that grenade, and DRS gets that winner chicken dinner. Congratulations. This is match number 3 of day number 3. After this match, we're gonna have 3 more maps later on. So, you know what? This is gonna be really fun. There's a lot of pressure coming in, especially for the teams that are vying for a spot in the top teams. So, especially that's DRX and BTR. I'm really excited to see how the leaderboards will be looking at later. And of course, I really want to see the stats that come up after this match.
Yes. Oh yeah, I do want to see the stats come after to the match on how much of the difference is going to create, how many points have the team secured so far, and all of these minuscule details of that singular momentum, that single mistake that costed the whole entirety performance of the whole team. Those kind of things, those kind of gameplays that actually occurred even right now. DRS, I have to give it to them. Even as on the number 8th position, 80 points they had. Yeah, I saw them with 80 points last match, 80 plus something, not even close to 90. So with this winner chicken dinner, they're going to cross the 100-point threshold, and they're going to be one step closer to the number 1 position. If the next 3 matches goes good or consistent for the DRS, they're the ones that will be on to the number 1. So it's definitely a fight of the life at this point. The teams that we were talking about, okay, they're not gonna get the number 1 whatsoever. They're finally doing a great job today, and you can see overall number 5. It is for the DRS. 11 total elimination in this match, meaning 21 points. 1744 is the damage. 41.6 kilometers, and throwables used of only 16.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you. With the leaderboards right now, I think also the teams that are maybe at the 80s on the total points in the overall ranking, they still have a chance to climb up even to top 1. Especially since it doesn't seem that DRX and BTR have that strong consistency on their side. They do get a lot of points, and BTR, they're probably gonna rise up sooner or later, and DRX as well. They fall off sometimes, and it's just like a 50-50 whether or not they'll get a lot of points later on. But we can see from DRS here, they managed to rise up so much from this one winner chicken dinner. So I'm really excited to see how this will affect the leaderboards later on. So no clear prediction as to what will happen once match number 6 ends, but that's where all the excitement is gonna end up. So yeah, that was match number 3. Last 3 matches later on, and match number 4 will be a wild card. It is a Sandhawk. It's very chaotic, and a lot of these players don't know what to expect. So let's just wait and see. This is the MVP of the match, by the way. Example, with 5 eliminations, 896 damage, 370 longest elimination, and survival time of 20 minutes.
It is example, ladies and gentlemen. It is example of it. 5 eliminations, total 896. Yeah, 400 almost. Yeah, more damage. It's good. It's definitely decent. But 11 elimination to 1744 is the damage chart. Damage to elimination chart.